Is there any drama, anything you want to rant about?
Drama. Yeah, like I said, I have like a bone to pick with like people. Like one thing people need to normalize is being friends with your ex.
I'm losing time again, trying to figure out who I am. Here's the road, let's see how we'll switch.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Abdul and you are here with the boys. We have Jason Hulangama, Shanaya Bandaranaika, and we have another guest for 4 straight episodes. This is our first female guest and our last guest for the season. So Jason, would you like to introduce her?
So yeah, we're back. We're back with another guest episode, but this is no ordinary guest episode. Today, history is made on the Nonversations podcast because we got our first female guest on the podcast, as Abdul said. A round of applause, please. Alright, so today's guest is a writer at Foodies, Lanka. She is a part-time singer and also majors in media and communications at ECU. If you haven't caught her singing on social media, you've probably seen her at the Cinnamon Grand Colombo. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Shanaya, Edirimanne.
Hey.
Hi guys. Oh wow. Okay, I feel like that's. How do you know all this about me? Is the question.
We have to do a lot of research for
like very specific. Like she's doing like media communications at ECU. I'm like, I never told this to anyone, but okay then. Yeah.
I mean, it's on your LinkedIn, I think, right?
Yeah, we do a ton of research. So creepy,
It's
but
all out
it's
there.
part
I don't
of
know whether I should be honored or like creeped out, but that's fine. And thank you for your first. It's such an honor to be like your first female guest. So I'm just like breaking like glass ceilings over here. So
Yeah, we're moving in that direction. We're all about feminism and all that shit.
all about
Equality.
all about being progressive. Yeah.
No, we appreciate it because you're so nice and you didn't take that much time to get back to us also. So I really appreciate that. These to schedule this episode with you. So that's one thing that we really appreciate. And straight up wanna jump into the questions. I wanna ask you, how and when did you realize you had that passion for singing and is what you wanted to do?
Okay, so I don't have like this really emotional like crazy like inspirational story. I really
then
don't.
why did we get
guys.
you on, dude? We want like emotional.
I have a ton of those, but like in terms of like my music, I feel like it just started with like a 1-year-old really obsessed with Happy Birthday. That's it.
Okay.
I was obsessed with the song mainly because at the end, like, when people blow candles, they just say yeah and they start clapping, mainly because of that reason. So like my parents have like home videos of me running around the house at like age 1.5 to just singing Happy Birthday. That's all I ever did. And I feel like I grew up in a background of like a lot of music, like, because none of my parents are musicians, but they really they were like very much like heavily into music, especially like my dad.
So a lot of music?
Yeah, like, because like even like to put me to sleep, my dad would have to sing this like particular song. Have you heard Sleeping Child by
Michael Learns Oh no.
Yeah.
Is it Michael Learns Rock?
What?
Shit.
Yeah, it's Michael Learns Rock. Yeah, Sleeping Child.
Dude, no one knows Michael Learns Rock. That's kind of crazy because
I grew up.
yeah,
like
Michael Learns Rock is amazing. Yeah.
Bryan Adams, like Bon Jovi, like Def Leppard, like that era, like music is like what I grew up with. But how I actually started singing was probably because of my maternal grandfather, my mom's dad. He was someone who would like constantly like be like singing or like playing the piano, and he's actually like one of the first people who like encouraged like my mom to like, like I think Shanaya can sing, so like sent her like for like whatever like music class. Like I started playing piano at like age 5. I don't play it anymore because my teacher was terrible. Like she was old and really annoying and she was mean. So I stopped. But I would say that's like my beginning, like when it came to music. But it took me 19 years to come to a point where I was like, I want to like sing in public and I want to pursue this professionally, because it took like a lot of courage and a lot of gathering of like self-confidence and self-esteem in myself to kind of put myself out there. Yeah. So yeah, that's my not exactly
Shanaya,
inspiring story.
Did you go for that voice training class that was happening near Stanley Tilakaratnam? No, right?
No.
No, because I feel
I
like
went to Ashanti's for a while. I feel like that's where I got my base and my foundation when it came to like performance and confidence. But no, I haven't been to this place.
No, because I remember like a bunch of, because I went for voice training as well, believe it or not.
Wow, I'm not
What?
surprised though, because like your sister is a really good singer. So
No.
she's she's really good. So I'm
No,
pretty
she's
sure,
good.
like,
Yes, she's good. She's really fucking good.
It's gonna beat you up, like if you like
No.
sing, but yeah.
No, but my talent just ends at like, you know, it stays in like showers. Like that's where my singing talent comes out. Outside
I
of
don't
that,
believe it. I feel like if you put yourself out there, you might actually like be like, hey, I can sing. Like I
I
should
will
like
talk.
take this
I will
to the
talk in front of
streets.
people, but I'm not gonna fucking sing. It's bad enough that I'm talking. No, but yeah, I went for that, and I remember quite a few people went there as well. So I was trying to figure out, because I remember seeing you for a long time in school, but I wasn't sure where exactly it was. I think maybe it was soccer. Was it soccer?
Yeah, soccer. It was soccer.
Soccer, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think all three of you.
Probably.
Yeah,
I guess.
we
Yeah,
started doing it for fun.
Yeah. I never see. Here's the thing. Right? I never knew Abdul.
Yeah.
Jason, we, like ran into him during like religion class, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And then again, we ran into each other at college.
Yeah,
can't.
William Angus. Yeah.
Yeah, William Anglis. Yeah, and then just Shavi. Shavi used to probably like football here and there, and
Yeah,
like
Shavi was just there, and like
Shavi was just there.
You just knew that there was a guy called Shavi somewhere in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how was like life after school? Straight after school, you know, you're trying to figure out your ground, what you want to do. How did you transition to your course doing what was it? I'm sorry, media and communications, and even like going to uni.
Yeah, so I started.
in
Yeah, so I
hospitality.
started off. Yeah, so I started off with hospitality because my parents thought I was too young for them to send me off to like Aussie, to like university abroad, because I was 17 when I finished my A-levels, and I was really interested in cooking, but I really didn't want to make a career out of it. And I was really interested in hospitality, like as a whole in general. So my parents were like, okay, why not just it's like a pathway diploma to like a degree in Australia, so just might as well do it. And I started in 2017. I ended up like I graduated with my advanced diploma, and so during those 2 years I was in the industry. I was quite active in the industry. So like I've done like pretty crazy jobs. I was like my first ever job was a banquet waitress at Shangri-La. Man, that's
crazy, man.
Oh man, that's horrifying. That's a horrifying experience. It's
really
it was interesting and also like terrifying at the same time, because it was 1 month of like absolute torture in a sense, because I think Jason can like attest to like the experience, because it's not fun.
Is it because of the
not
people,
fun. Like,
or it's just the amount of work that you have to do?
no, it's just the hospitality industry is brutal, dude. It is. I have seen things.
Okay. Keep going.
I have seen.
Like I have no idea, you know, what you were talking about.
So there was like I worked as I think an event. So I was a waitress, obviously, and it was I think some hair styling, some graduation nonsense, and so it was like a fashion show, and like it was like a cocktail, and so like show is over, people are eating, people are chatting, people are like eating, having a good time, and I walk. This is the Shangri-La ballroom, by the way. Okay, the main one. So I'm walking back to like back of house with like a bunch of dirty plates,
Yeah.
and I see, not to expose this dude, but this dude was so drunk, he just decided to like pee in the corner of the carpeted ballroom.
Oh wow.
I guess you really had to go, dude.
There was a toilet like 10 meters away from that spot. Are you kidding me?
One of the most beautiful
No.
corners there also, you know.
I was literally just like, okay, let's just head out, like, cause it was just absolutely not. It was so bad. Like I've had it disgusting.
It's a crazy experience though.
No.
Like
Don't-
it's a good and a bad experience as well. But it's pretty hard, dude. Like you need to hustle a lot to make it in the hospitality industry, especially in Sri Lanka, I think.
Yeah, I don't
And
want to
even
say
if you're
it,
like, even if you're like a female, like it's bad. Like there's always like
Yeah.
that person like who's trying to like hit on you, and it's disgusting, and you're just like, stop.
like,
No.
I don't want to say it, but I feel like Sri Lanka it's like a whole lot worse than any other country that you go
It
to,
is.
because I guess in general people are a little bit different. I'm just gonna leave it at that, but
Thirsty.
you know, it's that's a nice way to put it.
That's one way to put it. But yeah, it was just bad. Like, and then I realized. Then I worked at Coffee Bean. I was a barista for like 3 months.
Yeah,
And
I
then I
love being
realized
a
like,
barista.
it's great. It's like
It's
one
fun.
of the best jobs ever.
It's
It's fun.
legit-
It's
it's
so
legit fun.
fulfilling. And
It's-
then
yeah.
and then like sexism. My boss was like, he didn't like me for some
Okay.
reason, and I didn't get kicked out. I was just like, he just made a path for like, he's like, okay, bye, you can go. I was really sad because I really liked that job. And then I joined Foodies. I don't write for them anymore. But I worked for them for like quite a while, and then I realized, oh, like I really like writing. I really like media and comms. While I was there, I did a bit of PR as well. And right after I graduated, I got a job at Cinnamon, the head office, and I was working in their brand marketing team. So it was an internship for like 6 months. And then I realized, you know what, this is what I want to do, because I really enjoyed my job. And like it came to a point where like my job was my life, and I really loved it. Like I'll be happy to like get up and go to work. So and then I spoke to my parents. My parents were really understanding. They were like, you know what, like if you want to study this, and it's at the end of the day, like what you study, you need to be able to use it. Like you can't. There's no point in studying something you don't want to like pursue.
Go into.
It's just
yeah.
it's just a waste of money and a waste of time. So might as well just like educate yourself
Straight up
with
dive
like
into something
things.
you want.
Yeah. So just educate yourself with like things you know will be useful and which you can use as tools like in the future. So they were pretty like they were pretty supportive of like my switch, and they thought, you know what, it makes sense. Like we would like prefer you to be like in the corporate as opposed to in the service industry, which is brutal.
Yeah.
Because you really don't have a life when you work in the hospitality industry. You're on call 24/7. You work late shifts. Like you come home at like 1 a.m. Sometimes like guests call you at like 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and you have to like, because how it goes is your guest is like number one priority, and your guest is always right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I
matter.
fucking hate that mentality. It's
Like
super,
what the circumstances. It's terrible, and it took me such a long time to get out of that like mindset, because also you keep like first, so like it's really messed up, because that's just how like for the past 2 years that's what had been like hammered into my head. But yeah, that's how I got into like media and comms, and in my second semester, and it's been really good actually. It's been a really different experience.
I'm guessing you shifted from doing the hospitality and tourism, the whole on-call thing 24/7 to like, did you start a 9 to 5 or something?
I did so the Cinnamon was a 9 to 5. in a sense, it was a 9 to 5.
So
I
I
was
think
working.
as a
Did you do that switch? Because
Yeah.
did you go to Exes?
yeah, I did
though?
that
Like,
switch as well, and it's the best thing ever, man. Like I'm telling
yeah,
you.
it is.
Because you get your Saturday, Sundays off, and like just 9 to 5, you don't have to work late hours. Like that's the best thing ever, man. Like I enjoy
It's
that
so
switch as
stressful.
well.
It's
Yeah.
not even. I don't even know how people do it. It's just really stressful. Like I have so much of respect for people who work in the service industry because I feel like they do not get enough credit sometimes.
For sure, for sure.
There was this one experience I remember now, since you mentioned about guests and customers being on top and number one priority. I remember when I worked in a cafe in Australia this one time, I was behind the counter. So I was just, as a cashier, just working behind the counter. And it was, I think, like maybe 11, 12 a.m. on a weekday night. So people are drunk, and people are coming in. I remember this one dude came with his family. He comes by to order some coffee and some other cakes and some items. So he orders coffee and something else, and I think he had to pay with some $20, with $20. And he was so pissed off at the way that at how long we took to serve him that he just threw the cash at me. And he threw it at me. It fell on the ground. And I generally have a bad temper with people that I don't know. And I really couldn't hold it in. So I remember, I just yelled at him, and then people around started crowding, and the customers, like I got so pissed off, like, because that $20 we make it in an hour or something, that's so valuable to us because we're working behind. For them, it's nothing, it's just another note in the wallet. And I got so pissed. I looked at my manager, and my manager sort of gave me the nod that I can yell back, because he was really chilled out. Like I literally, before I said anything, I looked at my manager. And he just gave me that nod, like, you can do what you want, I won't say anything.
Fuck him up, bro.
Yeah, I won't say anything. I just like straight up yelled at him, and then the other people realized that it was his fault, and I just couldn't like keep it in. And I yelled at him, and I was worried that later I'll get fired or some shit. And then towards the end of the time,
No, but he gave me the okay. So I guess probably
I
not.
guess like,
But, like
afterwards it was fine. He told me it was alright. Don't worry about it. People are like this sometimes, and they'll just fuck you up sometimes.
Yeah, there's always that one person who is they just don't know how to like treat people, and it sucks. And especially like here, like you have to like be meek, and you have to kind of take a step back. And like I feel like because like Australia is a little bit more of a laid back culture as opposed to like ours. I feel like that's why like for you, you're like, oh, like what if I get fired? So that's like the Sri Lankan in you like talking, but like in actuality, like they're like, you know what, bro, we see you and we know like what they did was wrong, so you deserve to like let off some steam. So I feel like that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're serving someone doesn't mean that you get to be a dick to them and stuff. It's not like they're beneath you.
Exactly. I feel like
because you're human.
Yeah,
you're human, right? So you can't like let someone else treat you like trash. Absolutely not.
Nah, I'm glad that your boss let you do that, dude. Because otherwise, like, fuck that. I hate how everyone has that mentality. Customers always right. The customer can't do anything wrong. You see that a lot more, I guess, in the States as well, because the States really has that consumer
privilege or
mentality, or what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm glad that your boss is like that, because fuck people who think they can just step over people just because they're being served. Fucking dickheads, dude.
Yeah, now it's just like a fun.
You said that hospitality and tourism, man, you would have hated it.
No, that's exactly why I would never fucking look at that industry. I fucking hate it. Like, I know the kind of shit that people have to go through just to, make it there. And I'm not the kind of person who can put up with any of that. Like, not because I would even get mad. It'll just fucking upset me so much. And I don't have the mental capacity to put up with shit like that.
Yeah, it's just you need to be very strong mentally and emotionally to like handle a job like that.
I can't.
Because every day there's always there's always like that one person who comes and just ruins your day. So you have to have that. You need to be like mentally strong to do it. So like that's why I have a lot of respect for people who are in the service industry.
For sure, yeah. But so talking about Cinema Grand, I mean, now you are singing for them as well. I don't know if you are going to be doing that for longer.
So this coming Tuesday, so the 23rd is my last day. It's been 6 months.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, it's been 6 months. It's crazy. Didn't feel the time pass. I actually got it through Jehan. Jason, you know Jehan.
Yeah.
And it was very random. I was really surprised to get it, and yeah, I feel like it's been one of like the most like fulfilling experiences I have like experienced so far, because it's a little so I used to sing at In on the Green.
So
I was there for a month.
What was your first gig? It was In on Your
So
Green?
my first gig was In on the Green. I signed a contract with them for a month, and didn't work out because the manager was a little bit sexist again. Because he was like, so it was like his problem was, why is the girl only singing? There are two other guys. And I'm like, it's called Wednesdays with Shanaya for a reason. Not Wednesdays with Shanaya and the other two dudes. Yeah, and like they're just like so he was like comparing me to like, so have you guys heard Cold Sweat play live?
I think I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, like they don't bring the same vibe as like Cold Sweat, and I was like, yeah, obviously, because we're not Cold Sweat, we're like completely different. We're completely
different. You have your own identities,
sound.
Right?
Yeah, we have our own identities, and yeah, it was really tiring. That like those 4 weeks were really, really stressful. But like when we moved to Cinnamon Grand, like it was a lobby gig, and like they were like, you know what, we're paying you for like entertainment, so you don't have to worry about anything. And there was like one night, it was like a foyer. And like it was pretty much empty, like no one had come. And so the manager there, he's coming and he's apologizing to me, saying, I'm so sorry there isn't a crowd today. And I was like, oh, this is new.
That's nice.
That's nice of you. But yeah, it's been really nice. It's like even like the crowd is very different, and people are more appreciative of your music. So yeah, it's been a really fulfilling 6 months, and I'm a little bit sad to kind of let it go, but I signed a contract for 6 months, and my 6 months up. So I see this as like so one chapter closes, a new chapter will open. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully something bigger and better comes along. Yeah.
So was it that you noticed that In on the Green, like Cinnamon Grand noticed you there and then kind of gave you the contract, or how did that come about?
The thing is, having In on the Green on your resume gives you a lot of credibility. Especially I played a contract there for a month.
Yeah, because they have a lot of good bands playing there, right? Like the vibe at In on the Green is quite nice.
Not anymore. Like I feel like because it used to be good. Like you see, with every season it changes. So like for a while it was In on the Green was the place, and then right after like the first lockdown it was Columba. Everyone went to Columba. And now it's Hilton's new place, Sunset Blue. So like the hype location keeps changing. So it's not easy to like get in, because like you have like big name bands like in Colombo, and they're amazing, and they would rather people to have them like, not spotlight, but we would rather prefer to see them play at those venues because they are so good. But yeah, I mainly got it because of Jehan, because Jehan's like, there's a slot open and I feel like you will really kind of fit into it, and that's how I got it. I think within like the third week into In on the Green, we got the Cinnamon Grand gig, and we played there for 6 months.
What's the most requested song whenever you played? Is there like one song that everyone recommends or requests you play at any place you go to? Or...
Okay, here's the thing, right? So it's like a very oldish crowd who comes to like the lobby. So we don't get requests necessarily, but we've noticed people love Leaving on a Jet Plane. Have you ever heard that song?
No, I haven't.
I think I have.
Yeah, it's cause I'm leaving on a jet plane.
Oh yeah.
Don't know when I'm. People love it. I don't get it. It's such a random song, but people like even people like walking through the lobby would just stop and just be like, they'll just vibe for a bit and then they'll go. So that's like one song we've noticed like people really like, and Fix It.
Oh, everyone loves this song.
Standard
Goddamn,
Coldplay
yeah.
Fix You. Yeah, everyone loves it. Yeah, just those two. Mostly Leaving on a Jet Plane. Like we realized, we noticed like a massive reaction towards that song.
Really, I wouldn't have guessed. I mean, it's a good song, but it's, yeah, like you said, it's pretty fucking random, dude. It's not.
It is. We didn't think like it'll like be such a hit, but like people love it.
So you
like,
just
okay,
you guys just randomly sang it one day and noticed that it got a good reaction.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. So like how we knew it got a good reaction, we got tipped for singing that song.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, such a great song. We're like, oh okay then.
On repeat.
Guys, we're
Yeah.
onto something. Let's fucking do this again.
Yeah, we might get more tips next week. So yeah, it was pretty random, but yeah, that's one of the like in the top 5, which people really love.
That's
Alright,
yeah.
so if there's one musician that you'd ever wish to meet in person, who would it be?
Oh,
Ever in the
it's such a
future,
hard
you know?
question.
Yeah. I guess it's a tough question
man.
because
You had to see this
coming.
coming though. It's a pretty generic question that we're gonna
Pretty
ask.
generic
Very,
question.
very.
But I didn't think it'll come though. Oh wow. Okay, who do I? Who is this? Oh man, this is hard.
We give you 3 then. Go for 3. Go for 3.
Yeah.
Okay, 3. Songwriting wise, Julia Michaels. Wow. Like
Okay.
she's written like, so before she was a singer, she was a songwriter, and like most of the songs that you heard, she's probably like written it. So she's one because like her songwriting is killer. Chris Martin, Coldplay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That dude,
Fair
man.
enough.
Wow. Like so good. And who will be my third?
Has to be Cardi B or someone, right?
What? Who do you take me for? No, I listen to like really good music. Pretty generic music, but like really
Yeah.
good music. Who else? I don't want to say Adele, but no, not Adele. I feel like Adele would be fun to meet though. She's like this big personality. No, not Adele. I don't know. I really don't.
I guess that's a tough question.
Yeah, it's a tough question, but definitely like Chris Martin for sure. That guy
Yeah,
is
straight up.
wow, out of this world. Just to
I
see
think that
Coldplay
goes
live
beyond
is like
music
it's
for
like a
you.
dream. Man, yeah, no, absolutely not. It's just he's like the definition of like what I like. He's such a great performer. Like if you like watch Coldplay live, it's
No,
just
Coldplay's
it's
lives are really, really fucking amazing.
Coldplay just like it blows your mind, and I was like, oh man, I would die to be like Chris Martin. So like the way he like plays piano and sings with so much passion. Wow, I would do anything to like see Coldplay live. They're so good. 12 out of 10.
Their shows look amazing, and it's a pretty popular thing. You know, like you need to see a Coldplay concert in real
See,
life.
it's a experience. It's not. It's something else. Like even someone like John Mayer, it's an experience. It's like a once in a lifetime like opportunity to see like either like John Mayer or Coldplay, especially for like musicians of like caliber, like in our little genre. So we really like look up to like these two particular people because of like what they've done for like the music industry in like general.
With YouTube and your YouTube journey, you know, I'm excited about it. I feel like all of us are excited about it. You know, I think you've got something there with it.
I hope so.
No, with your series and stuff,
Because-
you know, it seems very interesting the way you're approaching it instead of just, you know, straight up covers. You're making sort of like a storyline behind it, you know, with the series. I feel like people are more inclined to watch something like that. If you have some sort of story, you know, it's a series, you're starting from here, you might end with some like a brilliant song and whatnot. So, you know, that sounds exciting. So I hope you still
Yeah, it's
keep doing
all
it.
about conceptualizing so that like, because anyone can like have a YouTube channel and like
with
do
covers.
covers.
Yeah.
Because we just want to do something different, which we haven't yet. We need to probably continue and
Yeah.
like do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just, yeah. Oh, I have one question from you guys.
So
Do you even remember me from school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You do.
low key do.
like a loud
I
kid
just
in
feel like I
football
knew
or
who you
something.
were.
I was not loud. That is a lie.
You were talkative. You were talkative.
Was I?
I'm pretty sure you were. No, I remember because I've always had this idea that you were like really friendly and like approachable and like
Yeah,
you.
I feel like I was friendly, but yeah, that was always there. Yeah, but yeah,
that's the reason
I
we
had, like,
get people like
for
you
me, it was
on the
like,
podcast.
for me, it was like there was a time where like girls in my grade were like had a massive crush on Abdul.
Oh,
shit.
dude, there were guys who had crushes on Abdul. Okay,
Wait, what? Why
I
are you
was like,
saying
oh, this is new information, bro. Like, what? Yeah. So yeah, Shavi was like,
I was an awkward.
But yeah, I wanted to ask you, what upcoming projects do you have that you haven't announced yet, or that you want to announce?
yeah. So I have 2 songs coming out next month. One is mine, and it started as a personal project, but I really thought, like, you know what, I'm gonna release it. And the second is actually a collaboration with this really talented producer called Evil Eye. I don't know whether you guys have heard him. Like, he's done
Yeah, you mentioned it. You
Evil-
mentioned it first.
Yeah, I mentioned it. So we'll be working on it's a collaboration of sorts. So he's more into like electronic music, and I'm not very well versed in it, but it's gonna be a house track, and it's really interesting. It's gonna be really
That
interesting.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, because he's one of the most like talented people like I've ever worked with. Like, the way his mind works is crazy, and I'm pretty like clueless about like this. Like, even starting in like music in general, I really have zero background to it. So like, he was nice enough to like explain to me like the steps and like how it works out. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for that one. That one I think it'll come out maybe
It's in about a month away.
March, beginning of April. But my song, yeah, about a month. First week of March, second week of March. Like I said, it was like a very personal project. And I thought, I'm gonna like, I don't really mind if it doesn't do that great, because doing it like really meant a lot to me. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that one in particular, because 2020 was like a really, really rough year for me, because I had like a lot going on, and from like how I turned to like music was, it started off as like a kind of a like a way to like kind of like
De-stress,
get my
or?
act together. Like, it started off as like somewhat of a, not de-stress as to say, like, I'm trying to find the word.
Give
but
yourself
I
a
can't.
purpose.
I'm just
Oh, I don't know.
yeah, in a sense, like, it was like, yeah, like, in a sense, to like give myself a purpose. And because I went through like a really, really like bad breakup, and then within a month, like, one of my really, really close friends like passed on, and it was like a really, it was like a lot of like tragic things, just like sorry.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay. It's a bit, yeah. So I ended up, so she was really close to me. So she was like a friend and like a teacher and like a mentor. She was only 22 when she passed on, and it was quite tragic. And like, even up to date, like, all of us were like really we're still shook about it, even though it's like next month is going to be a year. So back in like October, November-ish, I was like, October-ish, I was like in like a really like, not a dark place as per se, but like I was not in a good place. And like in my mind, I was like, because she was someone who would like go to like for advice and stuff like that. And I was like, what would she say like if she was here? And I ended up writing a song about it. And yeah, and it kind of manifested into that, and it ended up being like, so for me, it's like a personal project, but it's also like a tribute to like someone like
Someone
who
important to
really
you.
made like a massive,
Yeah.
someone important to me. So I'm really excited for this because I'm like putting my heart and soul out there, and like I said, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't do well or not. It's just I want to like put that story out for like,
Yeah.
and like whoever like listens to it, like kind of like memory of, or like in memorandum. So that
Did you say
is
the
my
first
project,
week of
and
March
then
or?
obviously there's other one. I just first week or second week of March. We haven't decided on the release date as of yet, but soon, because we're still working on like tiny nitty-gritties of like the audio and like production and post-production and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Interesting.
gonna be. It was really emotional, but yeah, because I played it live at Grand on the last Tuesday of like the year in December, and like it was so overwhelming, right? Because she too was like a professional musician, and one of the last places she gigged was Grand, before she passed on. And it was really significant for me, and I was like, the first place I play this song it has to be here. And then I was like, I'm gonna do it before the end of the year. Like I promised myself, and I did it. And I'm like a really emotional person. And then I just like kind of like I finished the song and like I like broke down like into tears. Yeah, it was really powerful, and yeah, I'm just really excited to like get this out. For me, it's very personal, and I'm just like putting myself out there.
All right, so we're back on a different day because we had a few technical difficulties, but straight up, Shanaya, welcome back.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us again very
soon.
Okay, so what we tend to ask a lot of people who we get on the podcast is stuff about relationships, because I mean those are things that are very character defining and change a perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to know your personal experience with all that.
Straight up,
what did you go
dive into.
Is there any drama, anything you want to rant about?
Drama. Yeah, like I said, I have like a board to pick with like people. Like one thing people need to normalize is being friends with your ex.
Okay.
It's possible, is what I'm saying. Like,
it's hard.
It's possible. Though. It's hard, but it's possible. But it's because I know it because I'm doing it right now. Because I guess it took a while and I feel like the timing also kind of worked out in a sense, because like I was in this really serious relationship with this person for like 14 months, quite a long time. Like it was very like involved, like our families knew, like I would hang out with his family, he would hang out with mine, his friends became my friends became his friends. And unfortunately, like things didn't work out. Like if I had anything to say about the relationship, it was pretty much like, it was really good. Like, it wasn't toxic at all, but like I hope it wasn't toxic, because if there was anyone toxic, it's probably me. Because like I acted a little bit psycho towards the end. But it was a pretty like healthy relationship. There's like nothing toxic about it. And honestly, he's like a really great person. And so like a month after we broke up, we went into like lockdown. So like there was no reason to like run into this person or like contact this person whatsoever. And then lockdown was lifted, and then I was like, so music, like let's do it. Let's like pursue it professionally. And I needed someone to like play for me because I'm terrible at instruments. And I ended up like reaching out to Nash. And Nash was like, oh, I spoke to Adrian. And Adrian's like, he's like, yeah, sure, I'll help out if she's okay with it. And I was like, am I though? Because it's like maybe like 4 months or maybe like 3 months after like we broke up. Maybe 4 months. And like the wound was like slightly still fresh.
Yeah,
like in my mind, I'm like, well, this is a like it's not like a great personal decision, but like if you think about it like in a more strategic sense, like it makes sense to go ahead with him because he's really good. He's one of like the most like talented like musicians I've like ever met, like period. like for his age. Like he's like 22 and he's like freaking amazing. And so I was like, you know what, do it for the music, do it for the career. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And at first it was a very like professional relationship. Like we'd like practice, have dinner, go home, gig, that's it. Like there was nothing outside that bubble. And that for the longest time, like for like both of us, like, and honestly, like we were like really fine with it. And then so it's been 7 months we've been like playing together. And when it came to like the fourth or fifth month, I feel like we were like, okay, like we were like both like we come to like a good place, and we were like comfortable with like attempting to like be friends. And yeah, I feel like we're doing quite well. Like it's come to a point where like we can joke about it, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Like we were like, oh, like haha, like haha.
I remember we used to date, lol.
We're like, yeah. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like, because like a couple of weeks ago, like we were talking about something, and we were talking about this particular place. He's like, oh, do you want to like go revisit? And I'm like, no thanks. like it had, like that's the place we broke up. And he was like, do you want to like go revisit like the breakup? I was like, no thanks. But like and because we had this conversation like a couple of weeks ago. He's like, aren't you like sick and tired of like people asking like, why are you playing with like Shanaya? Like, why are you playing with like Adrian? Like, isn't it hard? Like aren't you like over him and etc. And it's just, I know it's not like ideal for like two people who like, because like we were really close, and like for two people to like be that close to like kind of like break up and like, you know, like for me, I'm a very like for me I'm like a very sentimental person, and I hold on to like I kind of like find attachment
old memories and stuff.
Like, not really, it's just like he was like my best friend for like a really long time. Like I've never like confided in anyone else other than him, like particular things. And I would like to think it was the same for him. But like for me, in my mind, it's like, why would I be so immature and throw away a good friendship I had just because of pride and ego?
Okay, but wait. I don't think it's immature to
I guess,
you know, it is mature to you know, become friends with them, but I don't think it's immature to not stay friends.
But it depends.
With them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it depends as well. Like if it was like a really toxic relationship and I had to like cut that person off, like completely like understand. But in this case, there was nothing like that. Like it's just like things didn't work out, and like he decided like, you know, I think it's time to like part ways. And like ever since then, honestly, it took me that one breakup to like make me realize that, oh, I am not like ready for like a serious relationship. I know I'm like only like 21 and I have like so much to like work on like myself, because like I like this is like a personal belief. I mean, like for like a relationship to work, you have to be both like mentally and emotionally very stable. Forget like the other aspects of things. Like it doesn't matter like if you're like financially stable or whatnot, but like personally, like in here and in here, you need to be stable.
Yeah,
because you can't be someone who's like in a relationship who's like really anxious, like, because I'm a very like I have like major anxiety, and for me I like anything like the slightest thing would like trigger me, and I would just like spiral, like especially when I was in the relationship. And it's not easy for like another person to kind of date someone who has like mental health issues.
And it's not like, fair for them as well, right?
Yeah, it's not fair for them as well.
Yeah.
Because for me, I know for a fact that like a lot of my personal happiness depended on the other person. And that is really unhealthy for you and also for the other person. So I like honestly, like this entire year, like I've actually like made like a conscious like decision to like, you know what, don't get into anything serious, don't pursue anything until like I am happy with being happy by myself, because that's very important. Like even like as like a female, like a lot of like especially like our society is like, oh, get married to like someone who's like who you can depend on.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to, like, especially like being a girl, like how I'm like living my life is like I do not want to like depend on another person, whether it be like emotionally or like financially. Like, why should I? Like, I need to be able to do like whatever I want to do.
Exactly.
And yeah, so that was like one of the reasons. And I mean, it has been hard, but it's been like a pretty like interesting like ride, because like both of us have like grown so much. I would have never pursued music professionally if it wasn't for like the breakup, because for me doing this was like kind of like a weird like coping mechanism kind of coping mechanism kind of thing. And yeah, like I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for what happened. So ironically, like I know it's cliche when I say like everything happens for a reason, but everything like really does happen for a reason.
I had that discussion with my sister like a few hours ago about, you know, the whole happens for a reason thing.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like that because it takes responsibility away from yourself, and you're just like, okay, something happened, everything happens for a good reason is what people usually say, right? And what happens then is, you know, they'll let that thing happen, but then they'll just sit around and wait for this other good thing to come around, whereas you're supposed to, you know, kind of work towards a good thing, like kind of how like what you did.
But it's not about just like going with the flow.
It depends.
Right? It's about, you know, like you having your goals and your, you know, dreams, and you trying to pursue them, instead of it just being, you know, letting things happen as it is. And like, you know, a lot of people actually, like I've heard a lot of stories where people say that breakup made them a better person, in a sense where, you know, they get time to focus on themselves. Now, like even for you, you know, you said straight up you got into music because of that, and you pursued it like, you know, with passion, because you used it to help yourself like feel better sometimes. You know, everyone does that. It's entirely fine. So I think, you know, like a lot of people, at least, I mean, for you, since it was a healthy relationship, even being friends with Adrian, you said, is completely fine. But I feel like, I mean, different people, if it's like a toxic relationship, it might not end up as well as you guys.
And I think it's
because it honestly depends.
I think it's also like an opportunity for like, you know, people to take it as a opportunity to learn something, as well as, you know, mature and grow within themselves as well. I think that's what she basically means by everything happens for a reason, Shavi.
For sure. But you had to put that effort into it. You can't just, you know, sit around and... Yeah,
you can't just sit and wait for like things to happen. It's just not gonna. You have to like take that extra step, and you need to do it. Like another thing also, like while we're talking about everything happens for a reason, is like a lot of people, like I've noticed, like for me, for the longest time, I was like, I need closure for this. Because for me, in my mind, it took me like such a long time, like I don't understand what went wrong. For me, it took me a year to understand that I am not going to get closure from the other person, but only from myself. Like, you can't, there's no such thing as getting closure from like the other party. It has to come from you.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is very important, like especially like when if you want to like progress in life, and if you want to like move on. Because I know like a lot of people who are like it's been like 2 years and they're still looking for like that one thing, like, and like if you think about like closure from the other person, is basically you just want them to say what you want.
Exactly. Instead of you looking within yourself and realizing the kind of things you fucked up with.
Instead of like pretty much. And so like I think that also like helped me a lot, like in terms of like I can do like to like do this whole like friend thing, and like we're like really good friends like today, and it's just fine. Like I know I get a lot of shit about it though from like all my friends. They're like, Shanaya, like how can you do it, like and like I don't know why they portray him as like the bad person, like like he like really hurt you and like we like don't like him, and I was like, he didn't do anything. Like it takes two for
Yeah.
like things to like mess up. Like you can't,
Exactly.
unless
There's a
that
good
person.
chance that you fucked up a good amount as well, right? Like that.
Oh, I did.
that
I did.
yeah, exactly. So it kind of happened with me as well. And it's something that I only really, I guess the concern comes from the fact that, you know, it's hard to kind of move on if you're still, you know, talking to that person.
Yeah.
Because,
I
you
mean,
know,
like
when
right
you're in
after,
contact, you're gonna
right?
exactly like right after, or even
That
I
makes
don't know,
sense.
like it depends for certain people how long it takes. For certain people, it takes a little longer than others, and that's totally
Right.
fine, obviously. But there is that concern, you know, if you keep talking to them, you're not really gonna move on because you still get, you know, tiny crumbs of that relationship every time, and
Yeah,
after a while
always.
you forget all the bad stuff and you just start remembering the good stuff again, and that's not good if you're trying to move on.
Yeah.
Because that's where, you know, some of this shit comes from. But
Yeah,
I mean, if
that
you
makes
manage
sense.
it, then you should be mature enough to know that, you know, you can take it, and you guys are gonna be professional or mature about it, and not go down the same street.
Yeah. Always. Because we're not in school anymore. The amount of drama like in school, like a lot of us could have avoided. It's just if we had just taken the higher road. Like definitely, like so much. But like that's the beauty of it though. Like after you go through like certain like life experiences, you really like understand like, oh,
That was
okay, so
stupid.
I could, yeah, that was stupid. Let's
Yeah.
not do that again ever.
Exactly.
But it's like I feel like it's like a very like no one gets it right the first time. It's a very trial and error kind of situation. So yeah.
But then again, you'd rather mess up in school and when you're young rather than, you know, mess up later. You get older and when you have responsibilities and when you can't afford to mess up as much.
Yeah, that's true though. But I don't know, like
No, it's
I
cringy,
like to
but
think that I haven't. It's cringy, but I like to think that a lot of us have kind of learned from like our lessons, and we're not like in the same place as we used to be. I know for a fact that like I'm not the same person who I was a year ago, and I'm really glad because like even a year, like it makes a huge difference, right? And like if you consciously
Right.
like make that like decision in your mind, it's all about like it's all up in here. Like it's all like a conscious decision. So if you're like, you know what, I'm gonna like take steps to like be a better person, or like try not to do this, or like work on this, then automatically like you actually do, like you have to like put it into action, because or else it's just not gonna work out. Absolutely not.
yeah, the fucked up part is, you know, the thing is usually you tend to learn those lessons through, you know, something that how do I put this? It's like if you had known the things you knew when you were in this relationship or friendship or whatever, it would have lasted. But you know, the ironic thing is you had to go through all that to realize that you have these issues and all that.
And work on them.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, you do not know, like we don't know whether it had lasted. We really don't. Like something else
you
could have,
don't
like,
know,
come out. But
no, there
the
are things that
chances, yeah, the probability
chances
will
are
be
high,
high.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that is as like a very, you know, oh, this is regret, but it's something that, you know, does come to mind, you know, like if you had known these things, like I had a lot of like the whole thing with overthinking and, you know, being jealous and all that shit. It's something that's justifiable when you're younger for some reason. Like everyone says, oh, it's okay to overthink. You see so many people, you'll see memes about it, right? Like, oh, I'm an overthinker, so you have to make sure you don't, you know, make me anxious and stuff. I think that's really bad because you're just enforcing it and not helping the other person, you know, improve.
No.
And it fucks the relationship up after that.
But there's always like, obviously there are ways to handle it, which I feel like it's also important for people to be educated about, like mental health, because it's still very taboo, even though it's not exactly anymore. Like people are not afraid to talk about it, but like it's not easy because you can't expect to be in a relationship with someone who has like anxiety or who has like high functioning like depression and not be educated about it and not know like how to like handle it, because it's important. Like for me, I feel like education about like all things is imperative. Like you need to have it, because you can't just sit there and be like, oh okay, she's like acting up to this, I'm just gonna like let her be. But like sometimes the other person just wants like support, in the sense like they don't want you to talk to them, but they just want you to be there, you know.
Yeah.
But it depends, like it depends on the situation, but like you also do bring up like a very valid point.
Yeah, you can't generalize it, obviously. Like there are certain times when, you know, someone should probably be left alone, and there are times when, you know, you should offer them your support. It's really hard to generalize, and obviously that comes with time. You go through those situations and you realize and learn to read the room and be able to tell, you know, okay, in this maybe this time I should, you know, talk to them, and maybe this time they're better off dealing with it on their own.
No, but it's good that you've at least somewhat figured this out, and you know how to control or like handle the people that, you know, throw shade at you. But straight up, you know, I'm gonna jump into like another question, and something entirely different. You know, it's for like beginners who want to sing, and for people who would like to, you know, start something out of it. Because I remember like when I was small, I was in the choir. Okay, not a lot of people know this. I actually sang.
We didn't know this.
I sang, okay, yeah, for like the first 6 years, I sang in the choir.
Such a long time to sing.
Yeah,
what?
that's a very long time. Like I actually genuinely enjoyed. Like I would love to go to like a karaoke bar and, you know, try to sing and, you know, just like just go out there and just do it. But like, you know, since you know what you're doing, do you want to give any pointers or, you know, any tips to people who want to try to do it, who have the interest for it or like the passion for it? Like even for me, you know, like straight up.
Just saying this might help Abdul pursue his music career. So pick your points, pick your tips.
Like obviously you can't tell, you know, like after I got past like grade 6, 7, 8, you know, like my voice is like roughened up and like I can't sing for shit. Like
no, but you can be the fucking bass now.
Yeah.
No, but like for people in general, you know, like
if
what kind of pointers would you give?
Yeah, I think one would be go for vocal training. I know like a lot of people like, oh, it's like only going to work on people who like can sing, but that's not true, because like you learn like how to like detect pitch, to hold a pitch, you know, stuff like that. And also just keep singing. It doesn't matter, who cares. Just play some karaoke track on YouTube and just sing. But like for me, like in terms of like technicality, I would say like vocal training, and do skills. Like you see those little like vocal exercises on like YouTube. Like if you just like YouTube like vocal exercises, you just just do them.
Straight up.
Like anyone can can sing. It's just you just need to like find the right tools
and keep training.
Like to it.
At least.
So I hope we will hear a cover from Abdul very soon.
No, that's not. It's not gonna happen. But
considering Abdul has been singing for like a while, and like his secret talent
was best kept secret.
Abdul, you would have picked up more chicks in school if you had sung.
He already took more than half. Okay, you want him to take the other 50% as well, like crazy.
No,
that's true. I knew.
Straight up, I can't keep a pitch. Okay, that's one of like the biggest issues I have, you know. But you know, while watching videos and stuff, I will actually try. But anyways, thank you so much, you know, for joining us, you know, on 2 separate nights. Appreciate it, you know, taking the time to help us out, and like we had a solid conversation, you know, talked about relationships. We got that done, you know, got it all figured out.
The music part down.
Got the music part down, but yeah, appreciate it, you know. Guys, that's the end of another episode. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button, subscribe to us if you're new. And this is our last guest episode, and we'll be filming our finale for the next episode. So stay tuned, guys, and that's it.
Bye again.
I'm losing time again, try to figure out